When will the hair on my body stand on end? On chanting Gauranga. When will my eyes overflow with tears upon chanting Hari 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 Hari?
And when will the moonlight Nitai Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, bestow his mercy upon me? When will my material desires become insignificant?
When will my mind become purified by renouncing material enjoyment? When will I behold Sri Vrindavan?
When will I develop eagerness for the Lord's fear of Sri Rupa Goswami and fear of Raghunath Goswami, by whose mercy I'll be able to understand the law of Priti of the divine focus.
All my hopes and aspirations remain at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath Das. This is the constant prayer of Narottam Das Thakur.
Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki.
Sit there. Oh. Oh yeah.
One Sundar. Somebody get him the mic. Oh. It's so cool that you're learning how to play Madanga. Very cool. Shravan teaching you? Shravan teaching you?
Yes, Shravan taught me.
Okay. Awesome.
And Tumblr.
May you be an awesome kid to the end. But why? Oh, did you get it? Oh, no.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Maharaj. You know why? I'm telling so because today I'm feeling that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prediction, when this day appear, when black, brown, and white skin together will chant Hare Krishna. This hall, which is also a school, right? School building, small, a private school building. In that school, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prediction is blossoming. Here, it's small way, but it is. You can see black, Mahivara black, right? Brown, Sukumar brown, right? Brown white. Sukumar black? No. Only black, brown. Also Anuradha brown.
One month in the back yellow, Maharaj.
Golden.
Yeah, Native Indian, everybody. Chinese, right? You're Chinese. So everybody together. So I feel when goes from the leading kirtan, it's like a Bhaktivinoda Thakur prediction. It's dancing in the heart of all devotees. So now we are going to hear sannyasi with black skin, but very senior sannyasis. Senior in this way, 70 years old. But his activity like a youth, no? Like someone said, it's a 35-year-old. It's a 35 videos. But actually, he's 70 years old. He's from America.
Hare Krishna.
Which island, Maharaj? Which island?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. So listen from him. He had enthusiasm to speak about the glories of Mahaprabhu. I don't know, whatever he like to speak, he can speak. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, very quickly. If everyone could just move up a little bit. There's so much space in the front, and there's more people who are hoping to come inside. Don't be afraid. And anyone who likes to use the restroom during the program, it's just up this pathway here. And take a left when you walk up the stairs, it's a red door. Anyone who needs to use the restroom.
Where did you say that? The restroom there.
Please.
Someone's daughter? What is your dad? Shravan's daughter, yes. Your dad? Someone? Wow.
Om Janakamarandasya Jana Jana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Chaitanya Prastaya Bhutale Acharya Murta Vigrahaya Vaman Goswami Iti Namane Namo Mahavandanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gortase Namaha. So those of you who were here yesterday, you remember that I began with talking about Ramananda Rai's conversation with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I picked one of the questions: what is the most saddest moment for a devotee? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai that, and Ramananda replied, to lose the association of a devotee. So this is like Vipralamba. So I'm going to continue in this line of Vipralamba. Vipralambha is separation. Separation. But what makes it so important is that separation comes from attachment. And attachment comes from affection. So, affection for devotees, affection for Vaishnavas, is a very important thing in our everyday dealings. We celebrate the disappearance days and appearance days of all our acharyas because we have affection for them and what they gave us in the previous years. Vipralambha is not limited to just Madhurya Ras. Vipralambha is in every Ras. Madhurya, Vatsalya, Sakha, Dasa, and Shanta. We see evidence of this in Vrindavan. In Shanta Ras, the Sabara girls in the forest, they never saw Krishna. They just heard about him. But when they go through the forest, they see Krishna's footprints in the earth. And they take that dust and rub it on their body and become peaceful. In Dasya Ras, Krishna has so many servants at Nanda Baba's and Mother Yashoda's. And these servants, they bathe him, they dress him, they do so many things with him. But they heard rumors that Krishna may not be a cowherd boy. And so they're thinking, well, if he's not a cowherd boy, then what is he? And if he's a Kshatriya, because they hear rumors, Krishna's really a Kshatriya from Mathura. So they're thinking, we're just low class, we're not so high class servants. If he's a Kshatriya, he may not need our service any longer. Huh? And then in Dasyara, in Sakyaras, the cowherd boys, they also heard stories that Krishna's a Kshatriya. And they're thinking like, Krishna's a Kshatriya. He's from Mathura. That means he might have to go and learn diplomacy, learn weaponry, and leave our association and not tend the cows with us. So they're feeling Vipralambha as well. Then even Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, they've heard these stories that Krishna's really the son of Vasudeva and Devaki in Mathura. He's not really your son, but they refuse to believe it. They say they refuse to believe it, but still in their hearts they're feeling one day Krishna might have to leave us and go to his real parents. But then they throw it away. They say, no, we raised him from birth. We love him. They didn't have his love. We had his love. Because when Krishna did appear in Mathura, when Vasudeva and Devaki saw him in his four-arm form, Aishvarya, they were feeling awe and reverence. Immediately they folded their hands, awe and reverence. And they requested him, please, manifest your mystic potency and become small so we can hide you. Or become invisible so Kamsa's guards won't see you. And Krishna just smiled. And then he did show his opulence. And he made all the guards in the Mathura prison go to sleep. All the doors opened miraculously. And then he told Vasudeva, take me to Vrindavan and exchange me with the child that was born to Nanda Baba and Yashoda. So in this way, everyone's feeling Vipralambha. Now let's go to Madhurya Ras, the gopis. Of course, they can't live without Krishna for even a second. They know they're going to see him in the daytime because they make the plans to find out where he's leading the cows. And then they tell their mother, Srimati Radharani will tell her mother, we have to take some sweets to the Brahmins. And we have to go by Dangati. Because they know Krishna's going by Dangati at that time. Krishna also has his friends in the household finding out where the gopis are going to be also. So they're always crossing paths the whole day. So the gopis are content and Krishna is content because they know they have a secret rendezvous. So then they have these thoughts sometime when they don't see Krishna that he could go away also. They have the premonition that Krishna might go away one day. But they refuse to believe it, so they block it out their minds. So then, when that day did happen, and Akrura did come to take Krishna away to Mathura, then they just totally became hysterical. I mean, when Akrura was driving the chariot, the gopis would run up to Krishna and say, Krishna, don't leave us, don't leave us, don't leave us. I mean, this is intense, Vipralambana, okay? And they go even to Balaram, and Balaram could do nothing, because they're Krishna's gopis. All he can do is say, we'll be back soon. And Krishna's promising he'll be back soon. But they didn't believe him. Some of the gopis threw themselves in between the horses' hooves, so that Akrura had to stop the chariot. So this is Vipralamba, because of intense attachment, you know. So we must have attachment like this as well. And actually, the first attachment starts with chanting Harinam. Your Japamala should be your best friend. Your best friend. Because if you stick your hand in your beads, your fingers know what to do. Everybody agrees with that. But the thing is to stick your hand in your bead bag. Once your hand's in the bead bag, the fingers are going to do their walking. They know what to do. But this attachment, you must somehow, by hook or crook, get this attachment for the holy name. We know in Shastra, Nam and Nami is identical. Krishna's name and Krishna is identical. We know this in Shastra, but we have not realized it. We just know that it's true. In fact, Krishna infuses his name with more power than he infuses it from himself. His name gives everything. Everything you could possibly imagine, the name gives. And we know this because Sanatana Goswami wrote this book called Brihad Bhagavatamrita. What a masterpiece this book is. And it starts off a little bit with Narada, but the focus of the story actually is Gopal Kumar. And Gopal Kumar was a cowherd boy. And somehow or another, he got left behind in Krishna Lila when it went to Goloka. And so Krishna was missing him. And so then he was thinking, well, okay, he'll come in the next life. Like that. Or the next one. He was thinking like that. And so Gopal Kumar, he was born in Vrindavan as a Vaishya. As a Vaishya cowherd boy. But he had his bamboo flute. And he dressed like a cowherd boy. You know, he put mineral colors on his face and he put wild forest flowers in his hair. But he was just roaming around as a cowherd boy. He forgot that he was supposed to be with Krishna. So then we see later when Gopal Kumar, he went to many places. He went to Shiva, he went to Siddhayaloka, he went to many places. But he got to Vaikuntha and he met Narayana. And Narayana said, come here to him, you know? And when Gopal Kumar got in front of Narayana, he said, I've been waiting many lifetimes for you to turn your attention to me, but you showed me no mercy. Now can you imagine? Narayana saying this to Gopal, you showed me no mercy. And so I was desiring your association so greatly, I came myself as your guru in Mathura. So what he did was, he gave him a mantra. And he said, if you chant this mantra, you will get whatever you want in life, and you will be able to also travel to wherever you want to travel, just by thinking of it. Now, Gopal Kumar was a cowherd boy. That was his sthayi bhav, his fixed form. So he went to all these places, and they were always asking him, what do you want to be a cowherd boy for? Like when he went to Dwarka, to the Yadavas. They said, listen, we're wearing gold, silk, and we're royalty. Be royalty with us. You're qualified. Gopal Kumar said, no, I'm a cowherd boy. He never left his base, you know. And this is why we know it's fixed, you know. And so he kept looking for Krishna everywhere. No, he kept looking for satisfaction everywhere. So he went to so many places. He went to Jagannath Puri also. And he saw Jagannath. And when he saw Jagannath, his heart was full with love and bliss. But then when the deity was put to sleep, he could not see the deity. And he was feeling Vipralambana. And so Jagannath could understand, he's not really feeling the full bliss that I want him to feel. So then he instructed him in dream, okay, you chant your mantra and you go to Golok, where Krishna was. So it's a long story because he met many places, and Sanatana Goswami explained it very nicely. He went this place looking for complete satisfaction. because he didn't know the only complete satisfaction is Krishna Bhakti. Huh? Krishna Bhakti. You can be attached to other incarnations, Rama, Nrsimha, because especially those two, because those are Krishna's two favorite incarnations. Rama, you know, he took the vow to be the ideal king, the ideal father, the ideal ruler, the ideal husband, and he set this example perfectly. And the other one is Nrsimha. You know, basically he only came for 48 minutes because he had to kill Hiranyakasipu in the twilight. Twilight is only 48 minutes, you know. Now, Hiranyakasipu, as you all know, these were Krishna's associates in Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, you know. They were the doorkeepers. So they were guarding the doors, and they were watching the people come and go, and they were also watching the Lord. And they can understand, the Lord wants some action. He wants a little fight. And so they said, since no one's stronger than us, then we should give him that opportunity. So when the 4 Kumaras came, they're 4 Brahmin boys, all with Brahmin threads. Jaya and Vijaya know they should have been let right through. Brahmins can always go right through, but they stopped them and questioned them. And so they got cursed. And when they got cursed, Vishnu came immediately and said, what is this? What is this? And he could understand the situation perfectly. So then he was saying, okay, my devotee's curse must be honored. So I'll give you a choice. You can come in 7 births as my devotees, or 3 births as my enemies. So they immediately took the 3 births, because 3 is 4 less than 7 in the material world. And so they took this, and so then they became, as everybody knows, Hiranyakasipu, Hiranyaksha, you know, Kumbhakarna, like that. So when this happened, they were very, very happy that they would offer some service to the Lord. And so they offered perfect service to the Lord. I mean, he got to really fight. Because sometimes when Krishna comes to the material world, he tells Yogamaya, no demons this time. I just want to play the whole 125 years. I don't want any controversy. Sometimes he wants to just have fun. But this time, he wanted to fight. And so, they performed their service so well that they got the bonus to be Jagai and Magai in Mahaprabhu's Leela. And so, they were very, very fortunate. Then after that, they went back to their eternal pastimes. When one receives what one hankered for or desired, then one is satisfied. You know, the thing is that what makes frustration is if you strive for something and don't achieve it, then there's some frustration. But if you strive for something and achieve it, then you're totally content. And so this is how it is with devotees. We're just striving for Krishna Bhakti. Krishna Bhakti. Devotion to Krishna. Devotion to Krishna doesn't mean just devotion to Krishna. It means devotion to Krishna's devotees. Devotion to the Parampara. Devotion to Harinam. There's many things that are involved in this. It's not just one thing. And one thing won't give you the desired goal anyway. It has to be many things. Everything, actually. It should be everything. Okay, we cannot do it 24 hours a day, every second. But that should be in the back of our mind, in the center of our mind. That's why grihastas are always told to have deities at home. If you have deities at home, then the whole house revolves around the deities. You know, and somehow or other you're staying connected. So in this way, this Vipralamba, it's a very high tattva. And many of our acharyas have talked about it. But you have to experience it to really understand it. Everybody has felt separation from a loved one when a loved one has died. A father, a grandparent. Sometimes these things, they penetrate us deeply. But in Krishna consciousness, we want to be attached to the Lord. So the easiest way is through Harinam. Harinam. Chanting. Become attached to chanting. Just stick your hand in your beads. Stick it in. Doesn't it feel good? Just feel the round texture, the smoothness of the beads. All these things are wonderful. So Maharaj ordered me to talk a little longer today because I talked short yesterday. And so, but I'll stay.
As you like.
Okay. So I want to stay in this Vipralamba mood because the separation should start with the devotees. I mean, how can you feel separation for the Lord if you cannot feel separation for the Lord's devotees. Whenever you see them, whenever they go, I mean, there should be happiness in one's heart when one sees a devotee. Not a sannyas even, just another devotee. Or see someone wearing tilak, or see somebody, chanting Harinam. These are all devotional practices that benefit everything and everyone. Even the inanimate plants, and even the immovable plants. Bhakti, we know from Haridas Thakur, he used to chant super loud. He used to chant just audible so he could hear it, and he used to chant just in his mind. All three are valid. Shastra actually says, well, Haridas Thakur said, chanting loud is very, very practical because even the animals, the insects, the trees, the birds, everyone gets benefited. So we cannot do that in most places. If you chant in a public place loud, we can do kirtan down the street, but we can't just chant super loud. They like it in Hilo. Ah, that's great. That's great. So this Vipralamba, it's you try to understand it a little bit and try to feel it. Start with your own family members. Like sometimes we try to get our family members to follow Ekadashi. Let's just take something like that, And we even try to trick them. We say, oh, mother, I just like to have just fruits on this day. Let's just eat fruits. Sometimes you can catch them and sometimes you can't, But sweet, but you also have to give your family members just a little bit of philosophy. Not too much. If they can take a couple of drops and you give them a whole hosing down, then they'll run away. They'll run away. You have to give them in stages, like medicine, because our family members, they love us. They raised us. Sometimes they cannot see, I was fortunate I was able to make my mother a devotee. And this was she was always spiritual, but somehow or other, I didn't get the right combination of leelas and so then one time what happened, I came home and this is in Atlanta, and so she said, oh, you're back. She said, listen, I want to know more about this Krishna consciousness. So I explained to her in a very nice way, and I got her to agree. I read the sloka where Lord Chaitanya asked his mother, Mother, please do one thing for me. And he said, I'll do anything for you, son. And he said, just follow Ekadashi. Lord Chaitanya said, so then I said that to I'm the oldest son, The first son, that's the first birth. It's a big deal, the first birth. After that, it's just business as usual for the mothers. But the first birth is it's all exciting. And so I said, Mother, I want you to do one thing for me. And she said, yes, I'll do it for you. I said, you promise? She said, I don't have to promise. And so I said, okay, I just want you to follow this thing called the Ekadashi, And then so she said she would. And she said, what benefit will it give me? I said, then I explained to her about the sins that go into the grains. And I said also how it makes Krishna happy. So then my mother said, but Jagannath, I was Jagannath Das. And she said, but Jagannath, what about Jesus? He died for our sins. And so this is a big misconception that all the Christians have. So we had one of those old Bibles where everything that Jesus said was in red ink, so you can see it quickly and clearly. So I said, Mother, Jesus never said he died for our sins. She said she did. He said he did. Okay, I said, Mother, here's the Bible. You look, if you find that where Jesus said he died for our sins, then you're right. So I went to bed about 11 o'clock, and she was about halfway through the Bible. This is the New Testament. So in the morning when I woke up from Mount Larky around 4 o'clock, she came to me with tears in her eyes. She said, it's not there. It's not there, Jagannath, And that's when I got my mother, her whole life she believed Jesus died for her sins, and it's not in the Bible. He never said it. And so that's how I got my mother. And then from then on, everything was fine. Everything was fine. She was able to worship, I had these Nitai Gauranga deities, and she would worship them. Actually, I'll tell you this story too, because it might help you with your own family members. I had the desire to let my mother worship Nitai Gauranga, because there's no offenses you can make with Nitai Gauranga, so I'm thinking, so she can do. So I brought the deities, these wood deities. I got an Ekachakra, because I said that's the most merciful. And I brought the jewelry and outfits. So I brought him there, and I was going to stay for 2 weeks. And so then I was doing the puja every day, and then she was cooking. And then, you know, you just can't dump deities on somebody, even if it's your mother. So I'm thinking like, oh God, I came here to do this, but I couldn't find an opportunity where I could, you know, transfer them to her. And so I'm thinking, okay, it won't work this time, I'll do it another time. So I was packing up the deities because I had to go to California. And my mother said, but Jagannath, who's going to cook for the deities when you're in California? And so I said, Ma, I really bought these deities for you, but I didn't know how to give them. She says, I'll take them, just like that. So I left the deities with her, and then she worshipped them, you know, for the next 11 years. And on the year that she was going to leave this world, it was just before Gorpranim, Navadvitam Parikrama. I talked to her, and she said, you know, I may not be around much longer. You should think about making some arrangements for these deities. I said, what do you mean, Ma? She said, I just may not be around much longer. She kept it cryptic, you know? And so while we were doing Navadvitam Parikrama, my brother sent me an email that my mother had left, you know? But all the deity were in their case, all the outfits were packed up nicely, and the jewelry was packed up nicely, so I could tell she may have done it even the day before. So then I went to my guru, Bhakti Maharaj, and I said, I can't see you anymore, I'm contaminated. Because my mother died. It's 10 days, you know, you're under contamination. So then my guru said, no, you're in the Holy Dham. There's no contamination in the Holy Dham at all. And so I said, oh, really? He said, no, how can there be contamination in the Holy Dham? And so in this way, I finished the parikrama, and then I flew to America, and I told my brothers to burn the body. That's a very important thing. You have to make your parents understand and grandparents that the body must be burned, you know? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I mean, it's in the Bible right there, you know, but people, you know, see, when the body's not burned, you know, we have a physical body, a soul, and a subtle body. So the subtle body, when we go to sleep at night, the subtle body goes out and roams around. But it always comes back to your physical body in the morning. And so if the body dies, the subtle body doesn't know that the body died. It just thinks it's sleeping. And that's why, like in many countries, there's so many ghosts, because the ghost never understands that the body is actually dead. But when you burn the body, then it dissolves like that. That's one thing. And the other thing, when you put the body in the ground, you know, it deteriorates, goes into the groundwater and all those things. But the main thing is, it's the final dhatu, they say, you know, in Shastra. So by burning the body, it finishes the material existence for that being. So anyway, try to get that to your, you know. But anyway, more and more people are cremating now than ever before. Even the Catholic Church, I think, allows it. You know, I think I heard that the other time. Okay, so this is just, but my mother, she was attached to me. She was attached to me. And this Vipralamba between family members can make you understand the deeper elements of Vipralamba. The spiritual, it's spiritual. Family love is family love, you know. I mean, your mother carries you for 10 months and selflessly gives everything for you. But the spiritual Vipralamba is another thing. The rule is you have to follow some member of Krishna's entourage in Vrindavan, whoever it is. Like if you're in Vatsalya Rasa and you think of Rohini Devi or Yashoda Mai or Nanda Baba. I mean, the mood. We're talking the mood. And you have to look inside and try to figure out the natural mood that you really have. You know? Like, if you can be attached to a specific form of a Brajbasi that was in Krishna Lila. And you must know yourself who you're attracted to. Basically, you think, what's Lila you're attracted to the most? Everybody has a favorite Lila. And this Lila reveals some inner significance in your personality. And then from there you can understand. You should keep this Leela to yourself. I mean, because it's really personal. You know what your favorite Leela is. And this is how I was instructed. Once I understood my favorite Leela, and there's the all-time favorite, that everybody has for some reason, and you don't know the reason. And so in this way, you'll get attachment for that, You'll feel affection when you hear that Leela. Like Damodar Leela. That's a famous Lila. That's a famous Lila. I remember one time my guru was telling me about Bhakti Pragan Keshava Maharaj. He was asked a question about Krishna in, well actually the question was, how was Krishna able to, let me get this to you perfectly. The question was, the question was asked in Damodar Lila, why is it considered to be in Vatsalya Ras? Okay? Because we know the story was between Krishna and Mother Yashoda. Huh? All right? So Krishna broke the butter pot, ate some butter, distributed to his friends. His mother caught him and was going to tie him up. But every time she tried to tie him up, the rope was 2 fingers too short. So, I mean, you know, she had ropes and ropes and ropes, and then other people come in and they'd be thinking, what are you doing? I can't tie my boy. He's been bad. So they said, well, here, I have a rope. Use that. Every time, 2 fingers too short. So the devotees were asking, why is this Vatsalya Rasa? And Keshav Maharaj just burst into tears. And then, you know, the devotees thought they made an offense somehow by not understanding properly. And he said, no. When she said it's not Vatsalya Ras, it's actually Madhurya Ras. Because Mother Yashoda was trying to tie Krishna the whole morning. It's not like just like a few minutes. Everybody was bringing ropes. And so then later in the morning, Srimati Radharani walked by and she said, Ma, to Mother Yashoda, what are you doing? And you know, Mother Yashoda, I mean, it was Leela by that time. Mother Yashoda could understand it was Leela. I'm trying to tie up Krishna, but I can't tie up Krishna. And she says, how much rope do you need? I just need 2 fingers worth. And so Srimati Radharani took out the silk ribbon in her hand and said, here, use this, it'll tie him. And then when Mother Yashoda tied it to that, she could tie Krishna. Because Vatsalya Ras isn't enough to catch Krishna. You know, it's not enough to catch him. You know, it has to be deeper. So let me tell you just one Leela, because, you know, I talked so short yesterday. I'm sorry. I just got a little, this be Pralamba. So there was one good friend of Krishna's. His name was Sudama Brahmana. He was a Brahmana, but he went to the same Gurukul as Sandapani Muni as Krishna. And you see, this is a beautiful thing. You see, Krishna accepted a guru and did manual labor just like another normal Gurukul boy. He chopped firewood, he fetched water for his guru, he swept the floors to show that no one is beyond accepting a guru. Everybody must accept a guru if you want to be connected to the spirit. Right? So Krishna set this example himself. He went there, he learned the 64 arts in 64 days, everyone knows this. But he was very affectionate to Sudama Brahmana, and Sudama Brahmana was affectionate to him. So one time the guru ordered him to go out and get firewood. And so the guru is always loving and affectionate to his disciples. So the guru told his wife, you make 2 packets for them so they'll have something to eat while they're out there. So the wife didn't see Krishna, so she gave them both to Sudama. So Sudama and Krishna went out. And they went long, they chopped a lot of firewood, so they each carry a bundle. But by that time it was dark. And in India, when the sun goes down, boom, it's dark. There's no prolonged sunlight like that. It's dark. And they were in the forest too, so it was very dark. So at that time, Krishna said to him, well, we're going to have to spend the night here. Did our guru's wife give us any prasad? The guru's wife had. But Sudama had ate it when Krishna and him had separated in the forest. And so he lied. And he said, no, she didn't give us any. Of course, Krishna knew everything. He said, oh, then we'll have to be hungry. And because it was nighttime, it was cold too. So they had to huddle to each other to keep the body warm, you know? And so meanwhile, the guru was thinking, where's Krishna? Where's Sudama? Oh, get torches. Let's go find them. And so they went and they looked for them. And then they found them both. And the guru came personally himself, because the guru will personally come and collect you, you know? I was hearing these stories about, like, there's one great devotee of Swami Maharaj. His name was Brahmananda. And like he left his body in Vrindavan. And he had a smile on his face, you know? I mean, when you have a smile on your face, I mean, you know, your guru came for you, you know, like that. So the guru came and got them and brought them back. And then soon after they finished their studies, and Krishna embraced Sudama, and Sudama embraced Krishna, and he went back to Brahman, and Krishna went to do his, back to Mathura, because to resume his responsibilities as a Kshatriya prince. So meanwhile, many years had passed, 50, 60 years had passed, and Sudama was married, but he couldn't get a husband for his daughter because he couldn't get a dowry. Because he had offended Krishna, but Krishna didn't take the offense, but Lakshmi took the offense. So he could get no wealth no matter what he tried. So his wife said his daughter was past marriageable age, and so his wife was saying to him, listen, enough is enough. Either you go out and get a dowry for our daughter so we can get her married, or don't come home. It was like the final step. So then he went out, and he said, but listen, I have nowhere to go. I'm just a poor beggar Brahmin. She's Brahmin. She says, wasn't Krishna your friend at Gurukul? He's emperor in Dwarka. Go ask your friend for something. So he was reluctant to do that. Then he said, I have nothing to offer him. So then she got some chipped rice. Everybody knows the story, so I'll be quick. She got some chipped rice and gave it to him. So then he went all the way to Dwarka. And so when he got there, the guards let him go right through, all the way to Krishna. When Krishna saw him, he jumped up and he said, oh, Sudama, my old friend. And he brought him up there, put him on his own emperor's seat, washed his feet, sprinkled the water on his head and the head of his family members, offered him prasad, gave him a massage, and then said, why have you come so suddenly to see me? So Sudama, he didn't want to ask him for anything. Because basically in Bhakti Yoga, we don't ask the Lord for anything. We see that, you know, in the life memberships and these type, you know, they're always coming, look, my son has to do his exam. Please pray to Krishna for us. My daughter must get married. Please pray to Krishna for us. You know, so many things. But we never ask Krishna for anything material. We just want bhakti. Just give us bhakti, Krishna. Just let us love you. Just let us serve you. I mean, that's how we're thinking. So then he didn't want to give Krishna this chipped rice because it was below his Krishna status. I mean, Krishna's the emperor of Dwarka, you know. So many servants. And Rukmini is always serving him directly. No one else can even serve him. Because that's the palace where Sudama came. So then Krishna said, you must have something for me. Because he knows everything. And he said, what do you have there in your claw? And he snatched the rice and ate one time, ate two times. Then Rukmini took his hand and said, no. He'll receive enough wealth now that you've ate for his food. So then he said goodbye. And of course, everybody knows the story. When he got back, he was rewarded. Krishna forgave him. Somehow or another, he got Krishna's mercy again. But the Vipralamba that Krishna had for him, because the Lord can have Vipralamba for us too. You know, like I just told you, Narayana told Gopal Kumar, I was desiring your association, but you showed me no mercy. So always be merciful to the Lord and give him a chance to associate with us. And I'll follow this line again tomorrow. We'll let Maharaj speak now.
Mahamantra. Hare Krishna. I don't need the mic. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna.
Hare
Sri Guru Vaishnava Sri Rupam Shagrajata Shagana Raghunatham Mehitam Shajivam Shadaitam Shabodhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Shagana Lalita Shakha Tamischa. Everybody Panchatattva 3 times. Loud. Shri Krishna Chant Hare Krishna 3 times, loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Especially a static kirtan or Gaur Sundar, really very nice kirtan. also Sudham Prabhu. All glories to Gopavinda Pal Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, Indrodev Prabhu, Mahiva Prabhu. Also, there is Chinmayananda Prabhu. So many senior devotees here. Bidagda Madhav Prabhu. Chiranjit Prabhu. Inspirational character, feature of this island, right? They are giving inspiration to all the devotees. Because devotees can make other devotee. Because devotees inspiration, devotees association. Maharaj also says devotee vipralambha. Right? Vipralambha means extreme separation. We don't have extreme, little bit pretending by separation. Right? But mostly pretending. But we are showing our separation. Anyway, so all glories to all the senior devotees as well as all the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories. So yesterday we are talking about this because Maharaj started. I was thinking to speak something else, but Maharaj started Raya Ramananda Sampada. Conversation between Raya Ramananda and Lord Chaitanya. Then I started from that point. And I think that I spoke already about Bibudha, right? Education, knowledge, education. What is the most important knowledge or education? What I explained yesterday, last night, who was here? What Bhakti? Krishna Bhakti. Why? Because Krishna Bhakti eternal. And Krishna Bhakti take us to Golok Vrindavan. Why? Why you want to Golok Vrindavan? Because Golok Vrindavan have a place, it is a place where people can feel eternally blissful in every step of their life. Do you like to be eternally blissful in every moment? Right? Do you like to be eternally blissful in every moment?
Hilo!
Material world.
You know, this when baby born, they're crying. Everybody laughing. Why crying? You know why crying?
Confusion.
Not confusion.
Separation.
Before birth, when your mother womb, Lord Krishna appears. His vision, his spirit was connected with Lord Krishna. But as soon as he's coming out, that off. If Krishna come down here in front of you and playing flute, sitting beside Radharani, all of a sudden the vision off, what do you think? Will you laugh or will you just cry? Mahaprabhu, with Vipralambha mood he was chanting. Kaha Krishna Pananad Murali Badon Kaha Jao Kaha Pao Brajendra Nandan. But on and off, Mahaprabhu's vision. Mahaprabhu himself Krishna, but Radharani, how she has eagerness. When Krishna left Mathura, how Radha lament. That mood, Mahaprabhu enjoyed. Krishna himself in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he enjoyed that mood. Kaha Krishna Panana? Oh Krishna, where are you? On and off coming on. Where are you? Like Anuradha had. She saw them. Our vision on that. Am I right? Yes or no? Anuradha, I know she is sitting there. Anuradha, she said, she had every whole night she reached always looking Krishna. So anyway, look, that kaha means where, Krishna means not Krishna. Pranada means life and soul. Pran means life and soul. Nad means my Lord. Krishna, oh my Lord, my life and soul, where you are? Where are you? Do you have such eagerness to pray? But Mahaprabhu, Krishna, in the form of Lord Chaitanya, he's just trying to realize that how Radharani used to feel when he left Mathura. Kaha jao, kaha pao, Brajendra Nandan. Where can I go? Where can I get you? Oh Brajendra Nandan. Oh, now in Vrindavanas, Nanda Maharaj's son, Brajendra Nandan. Brajera Nandan means Lord of Vrindavan, Lord Braj, can say also. Brajendra Nandana Vina Phate Morabu. Phate means blast, a chest, this heart broken. Without Brajendra Nandan, my heart is, we can bite throat. Like Hanuman bite throat, But Hanuman, Sita Devi gave him one muktur mala. Muktur means pearls. The necklace made with pearls. And then he said just cracking with his teeth. Crack. Sita Devi, hey, what happened? There is no Janaki Mata, no my Lord Ramchandra. What is the value of this necklace? Therefore, I am just looking inside these pearls. There is any kind of picture, any kind of murti of this my Janaki Mata, means Sita Devi and Lord Ram. If there is no Lord Ram or Janaki Mata, there is no value. Then Sita Devi is astonished. When he said, if everywhere you would like to see, yes. Can you show me yours? Bifurcate. Yeah, bifurcate. And then, look, oh my God. Even Ramchandra, once the situation happened, Ramchandra wants to kill Hanuman. Yes. The story is this. Yeah, was he laughing? No, it is true. You know why? Because Ramchandra promised to his Guru Vishwamitra that he should chop the head of King Samanta. Because King Samanta ignored his Guru Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra became angry. It was the reception ceremony of Lord Ramchandra after the 14 years exile. And when he came, Ramchandra, according to the order of Ramchandra, Bharat arranged everything. All the states came, surrounding state, to greet Ramchandra. But last king, Samant, he told by Narada, actually, Samant, listen, this Vishwamitra is not qualified to be Guru. So Ramchandra make a law. First, Vasist, Rishi Vasist, Kulguru.
Vishishta.
Second, Vishwamitra, then Ramchandra. Ramchandra, the first two Guru sitting. Everybody should greet first the two Guru of Ramchandra, then they will come to Ramchandra and greet him. But last king Samant was told by Narada, this Vishwamitra useless, he's not qualified to be Guru. Don't greet him. Just Vasist and Ramchandra. He did. That is his foolishness. But actually Narad Muni's tricks that. Any sage, like the Maharaj says, anything, everybody should believe, right? For his sannyas, right? He will not cheat anyone, right? Do you have any tendency to cheat anyone? So, everybody believes that. So whatever he says, so Narad Muni is saying so he believed it. He wasn't foolish. He know we have to follow the footsteps of Rishi. So this is instant he did so. After that, Vishwamitra becomes extremely angry and he wants to leave this venue. And then, this Guru leaving from your home, from your palace. What is going to happen? Do you feel good? Guru living with angry mood, full of anger. So, Ramchandra Marjada Purushottam, incarnation of honor or etiquette we can say. So he immediately goes. Ramchandra is incarnation of etiquette. He just immediately goes in front of Guru and asking, Gurudev, please tell me, I understand your point. What is in my duty to make you happy? Are you able to do so? Yes, I do. Ramchandra say, yes, but I don't believe you. You have so much sympathy to everyone. Promise. Then he says, okay, I promise in the name of my greatest devotee, Hanuman. Whatever you say, I will do as it is. So, please chop the head of Samanta and put his head on my feet. Then Ramchandra was in dilemma. Samanta invited guest. Invited guest, also the etiquette. Invited guests should not be displeased with any activities. Like Anuradha, she's thinking how to greet Maharaj on 19th, right? Maharaj is going to her home, so how to greet. Am I right? You can ask her. So,
Sweet race.
Serious, Don't happen. So, Ramchandra says, Gurudev, is it proper if someone invited guest, is it proper to kill them, to chop their head? Gurudev said, no, it is not proper. So he is our invited guest, how can I do so? Okay, how much the duration of your invitation today? Okay, tomorrow, before sunset, I like to see you chop the head of Samanta and offer to my feet. But Narada make tricks with Samanta. So when Samanta heard all the conversation between Vishwamitra and Ramchandra, then Samanta went to Narada. And Narada took him to the Bandhamadhan hill. And there, in the Bandhamadhan hill, where Hanuman there. And what happened, there was a huge way Hanuman chanting. Huge, loudly Hanuman chanting. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram. Then Samanta Tipito Bana, when who is chanting there? Then he said, the Hanuman. Just why I'm telling so, because why Ramchandra wants to kill Hanuman. So that is the reason I'm telling all the story. Yeah, before the story. So what happened? So Ramchandra promised in the name of Hanuman. Hanuman is there. So Samanta says, when Narada dropped me here, he said, I can save my life one day, just you hide here. But it looks like Hanuman will convey the message to Ramchandra. So what happened? Then only one way, devotee's nature always simple. Humble and simple. Right? Devotee is very, very simple. So, this is the nature of the devotee. If a person not simple, if person not humble, you have to know, he may chant, but something wrong with this person. Still, this is explained as Saral Hile Gora Shikha Bujya. If we become, until we are not simple, we are not able to understand, we are not able to realize the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. The mundane, complicated mind not able to realize Lord Chaitanya's teachings. Mundane intelligence will not realize anything. The charisma of Lord, unless we are not surrendered to Lord completely. The Lord will reveal in our heart everything. Then you can realize. This is the tricks. So anyway, just look. So Samanta says, I have no chance to save my life anymore. So take the advantage. What advantage? He jumped to the feet of Hanuman. And he's constantly praying, save my life. And Hanuman says, chant Ram name, Lord Ram name. Chant the name of Lord Ram. But he just constantly, just like a parrot, save my life, save my life, save my life. Then Hanuman said, okay, I promise in the name of my Lord Ramchandra, no one can kill you before me. Here, same person, Lord promised to kill him, and same person, devotee promised to save his life. If someone wants to kill him, then that person should kill first the devotees. The Lord never able to kill devotee. But Ramchandra is incarnation of etiquette. So Ramchandra came to that place and asked Hanuman, do you know someone? And then I just make big story becomes short, Yes, yeah. I like to chop his head. Hanuman said, no, you cannot do that. I promise in your name to save his life. If someone wants to kill him, he should kill me first. Therefore, Ramchandra trying to shoot arrow, big arrow, Brahmastra, Brahma, Pasupadastra, Siva, so many open arrows, but everybody back to Ramchandra. And with folded palm, request, Prabhu, this time we are not able to serve you. Ramchandra became angry. Why? Because we are trying to follow your instruction, but when every spore, arrow when it goes inside the Ramchandra, Hanuman's body, every you and Janaki Mata, this body here, four, you and Janaki Mata sitting there, how can I get inside? How can we are able to inside? You can kill Hanuman. It's not possible. Therefore I am telling you, Lord's name we are chant. If we chant, every spore,
Every pore.
Pore that appear, Lord appear.
Hmm.
Body here or devotee, you can see, people are keeping. Piddas of the devotee, people are keeping. Why? You know, this we are keeping Guru Maharaj's, you know, how he said, save his beard, and we used to keep this. But you know, everybody stole. I don't have now. Because I was staying in my room, and 3 times they changed my room, you know. Before I stay on one place, and they change another place. Now they're changing another place in Mayapur. Now nothing is there. I saved everything, but everything gone. Yeah. Maybe you stole one.
I collect myself.
Collect, okay. Therefore, you know, when pure name you chant, like Bibudha Prabhu chanting pure name, every store has Lord Radha Krishna is there, right? So, Kabe habe bolo se dinamar. We have to that. We have to pray to Lord, to our parampara like this way. When we are able to get such day, every pore that Radha Krishna will reveal. Every heart will reveal Radha Krishna's pastime. Without pastimes, we are not able to think about. We will think just like a waste of time. Anything appears in our mind, in our heart, we feel it is a waste of our time. Therefore, so devotees, association, most important association to inspire ourselves to chant, inspire ourselves to serve. It's the most important part for our devotional practice. So anyway, so therefore, once Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya asking to Ramananda Ramananda, Prabhu kahe, that I say, dukkha madhye kon dukkha hai guru taro. That I explained yesterday. So anyway, you know that. So Bibudha, what is that? Before I say Bibudha, that I also explained yesterday. Bibudha study, we say Krishna Bhakti. The Krishna Bhakti will pull us or take us, you can say whatever you say, to Golok Vrindavan. Because this is the place everybody wants to go. Because you can say everybody wants to be eternally blissful. No one wants to be eternally distressful. You want? Even the 1 minute? No. We want to be eternally blissful. But why? Why we become distressful? Because attachment, material attachment pulling us here in this. Instead of Golok Vrindavan, you can see in that while you are chanting what you are thinking. That is the symptom. What you are thinking?
Money.
You say? Yeah, money, even mundane wealth, mundane benefit, mundane worship, name, fame, distinction. You know? Always this attachment is pulling us. Whenever we have such attachment, wherever we have attachment, our destination, our destiny is there. If we have attachment here, in the material world, you will be here. You may be here in the human form, you may be here in the animal form, reptile form, whatever form Lord gave, but here. There is no sure human form. So therefore, our parampara teaching us, try to convert your attachment, material to spiritual. Whole world belongs to Lord. In every aspect, think about. This is nice garden. Like today, Srila Prabhu was telling me, but yesterday he told me, Maharaj, we have a new property, 4-acre land, one school building, and also there was our residential building, right? So, are you able to visit too? Yes, definitely. I will see. Then I saw which temple is there. Temple is there, right? Which temple was? Godrum garden was there. Same temple, you move here. Such a nice. So property belongs to Lord. We are belongs to Lord. Entire universe belongs to Lord. So our activity should be for Lord or for us? What? Lord. Whenever we think, it is my property, my. How much we have attachment with my. And I. That much we are attached with material stuff. That you. Oh Lord, it is yours. Oh Lord, you gave me this property. You gave me, please give me your service. Just change your language, change your understanding. Then you can see your consciousness has been changed. This is the most important part. Only in human form you can change your consciousness. Because our any nature not instinct. There is no instinct. Everything the Lord give us flexible now. We can
Choice.
switch it. Huh?
Choice.
Yeah. We can switch. Just to change, then you can see. So therefore our parampara says, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and think about Krishna. And therefore, in order to make ourselves to think about Krishna, he said, name it Chintamani, thoughtful flintstone. During chanting, if we think about material gain, you can get material gain. But during chanting, if you want spiritual gain, then what will say? Thoughtful flintstone give you as it is. Right? So therefore, Krishna Bhakti, such type of knowledge, change our entire attachment. Material attachment to spiritual attachment. Means, not like a renounce. Oh, I have, how many children you have? 3. Oh, so if someone say, I have 3 children, but I want to renounce, leave. So Lolita will cry, right? What is it? Okay, Lolita definitely she will cry, right? But this is not actually, this is not this way. He should think about Krishna's family. My wife, Krishna's servant. I am Krishna's servant. Children, Krishna's children. So Krishna gave us 3 children. The responsibility to grow them up with devotional practice. Then entire time, whatever they spend behind 3 children, it will convert in Vaishnav Seva instead of children Seva. You understand what he said? Therefore, Krishna's family, therefore also Mahaprabhu's, through his associates said, Krishna samsara karo chhadi ana cha. Jive daya name ruchi sarvadha. We have to establish Krishna's family. Marriage is not bad, good. Like Sudama, Sridham, marriage. How many children? 4?
5.
5 children. They are devotee, all devotee, right?
Sure.
What is it?
Not following so closely, but devotees, yes.
So, just devotee.
Just like me.
So anyway, look, if you try, not work out, that is different. But you have to try your best way. You have to think, this is my responsibility. Like in school, this is school. If some student is naughty, teacher say, okay, you're naughty, I cannot teach him. Is it proper? Teacher should think about how to make tricks and teach him. Right? That is proper teacher. That is perfect teacher. In that way, we have to think about it. Establish Krishna energy in the home through chanting, through service, language-wise, no quarrel, husband-wife, no slang language, everything, association with everything. Krishna with language, Krishna with your dress code, Krishna with your food stuff. Food should be not like from restaurants, lasagna, pizza, curry people make, and you can offer and eat. Not like that. Devotees should prepare with devotion. You have to offer Lord and Prasada. Food code. You cannot mix, this lemon and milk together. You can't. Milk, you can add another milk, good. You can increase. And lemon juice, chew, finish. You know when a chew means? Oh God. So we have to think about it. The Krishna Vidya. Not just show me, just one or two language, our Bengali way to express this, everything improper. Finish. Bengali expression I explain, chew, one means finish. Milk finish. Milk is not anymore milk, it will just put lemon juice in the milk. Curd. So anyway, so this is so in every aspect, every steps, we should keep Krishna's connection. We're putting tila, Krishna's connection. Putting negbit, Krishna's connection. Right? Keeping ponytail, Krishna's connection. Right? Doing Mangalarati, Krishna's connection. So people will, your children will watch. And they gradually they will follow you. Most important parents, what they are doing, children will do as it is. Today or tomorrow. Charity begins at home. Right? So this is the Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness will start, if it start from home, it is much more easier for children to follow the rest of their life. Understand? So, Krishna Bhakti is establishing everywhere. So, Krishna Bhakti, dukkha means distress. Then mukto. Prabhu kaya mukto muddho. Konji mukto. Mukto means liberation. What is the best liberation?
Krishna service.
Pardon?
Goloka Vrindavan.
Mukta Muddho Konji Mukta Kori Mani Krishna Prem Jan Shri Mukta Shri Krishna Prem. Konji, which living entity is really liberate soul? We know 5 types of liberation, right? What? Liberation 5 types. Saruppo. Actually, Anuradha study every day 5 hours at night. So 5 types of mukto, liberation. Saruppo, Sajujjo, Samippo, Salakko, and Sashti. 5 types. Right? What do you want? What do you want?
Krishna Prema.
So that is explained.
Well, I didn't get the answer to the next
Alright,
one.
okay. Okay, Sarupa means same form of Lord. To get same form of Lord. You know, in Vaikuntha, you cannot recognize who is real Vishnu. Right? Everybody 4 arms. Same form. So how you are able to recognize? Bhikkhu is 2 feet on his chest. The real Vishnu has Bhikkhu 2 feet. Do you know them? Only that is the real Vishnu. Other all. Like the Gajendra. When he delivered, Sarupamukti, same form of Lord he got. Do you know meaning Gajendra? Do you know Gajendra? Who is Gajendra?
Gajendra is an elephant.
Elephant.
Before he was a demigod.
Indradumna Maharaj.
Yeah, and he made a fence.
Oh,
to one of the...
No, listen.
Okay,
This is not the story. The actual fact is this. Indradumna Maharaj, when he got retired, he made ashram, he was in meditation. At that time, Augusta Rishi came in that ashram. Augusta Rishi came in his ashram. He was expecting some greeting by Indradumna Maharaj. He was in meditation. And Augusta Rishi cursed him. Oh, you are stubborn, like an elephant. I curse you, become elephant. Then Indradumna Maharaj become elephant. And then also we know that Gajendra Makshamila. I need to explain. Then same Gajendra is representing like living entities. And he went to the lake. That lake is like a material world. And there is in the water, the lake water, in the water, crocodile is very powerful. Means Maya is powerful in the material world. Although human beings, living entities have intelligence, they may think we can cross Maya, which is not possible. So Gajendra is powerful elephant. When he went to the water, the material world, the crocodile Maya catch on his feet. And he always trying to, he is thinking, I can pull him because I have power. I can pull him out of the water, then I give him lesson. 1,000 years pass. He becomes, and he becomes old, weak. And then he was thinking, is there anyone can save my life? But day by day he weak, and this crocodile pulling him more and more deep in the water. Then, because his previous life, it comes in his mind as anyone. As soon as he thought anyone is there exist here to protect my life, then he remember, oh, yes, Lord. Then lake full of lotus. The tongue is just take one lotus and offer to Lord. And then Lord appeared with Garuda, nearer Garuda, and cut Sudarshan Chakra to that crocodile neck. Crocodile became delivered. Crocodile also has a history. Crocodile, he was Huhu Gandharva. So Huhu Gandharva, out of joke, he, when Deval Rishi, he was chanting, he was just, after taking bath, he was worshipping sun god with water, with water, the river water. So Huhu Gandharva, this, when you swimming under the, you just go there and pull the leg of Deval Rishi. Deval Rishi, oh, who is this? She looks like crocodile. I can't see crocodile. Crocodile. So, Huhu Gandharva touched the feet of devotee Deval Rishi. Same, he cuts and then become crocodile. Now he catch the feet of Indradumna Maharaj devotee. Indradumna Maharaj prayed to Lord, and Lord chopped his head, and he became delivered with Huhu Gandharva, and he became delivered with Sarupa Mukti. Same form of Lord. This is the benefit, to catch the feet of pure devotee like Maharaj, like Maharaj. All we are catching the feet of pure devotee. Why? Because we want to deliver like this. Therefore, always you are searching pure devotee, pure devotee, pure devotee. Why? Pure devotee take us to pure place. A cheating devotee take us to cheating place. Right? So, the Sarupa Mukti one. Do you like Sarupa, same form of Lord?
No. Why not?
Who said, why not? You? Well, then you can have. No problem. But he said Krishna Prem, right? Okay. Then Sajujya merge with Lord. Do you like to merge? This is not our identity. Merge and become. No.
One. Merging.
Enter, merge.
Yeah.
Do you like to merge? No.
Like Akasura.
Sayuja?
Sajujya, yeah. And then Samipo, same abode of Lord. That one, right? Yeah. Salakko, when I say Salakko same abode, near to Lord, Samipo near to Lord. And Sasti means same opulence of Lord. Look, what you want Krishna praying. Mukta Shiromani, who has Krishna praying. Who can absorb the Krishna praying? Who is full of material desire, that person can be absorbed. Is it eligible to absorb Krishna praying? Huh? No, right? So we have to be completely free from. I think when I enter, who was chanting? Gauranga Balita Habe? You are chanting.
Namacharya.
Namacharya. Acha, Manjari's son, huh?
Yeah.
Ah. Looks like Manjari's face is there.
Oh yeah.
So look, so that, what I said?
Krishna Prem.
Krishna Prem. That Mukta Shiromani. It's no more, no liberation equal to him, above forget. Everything below. So we want Krishna Prem. Ramananda Says Krishna, prem is mukto shiromani, topmost liberation. Why? Because Krishna prem, as soon as we have, all attachment gone. What I explained before, this Savan will think like this way. How Savan is thinking? All children, they are Krishna's servant. Right? Am I right? So, look. Look, this is the way. You may have family. You may have so much wealth, like Ambarish Maharaj. And Durvasa is to think about whose devotion is highest than, whose devotion was highest?
Ambarish.
Ambarish is highest. Right? Why? Ambarish is king. He was ruling entire world. When Mahaprabhu was in Gambhira, all the devotees requesting, King Prataparudra wants to see you, he rejected. He said rejecting. No. He's materialistic. He's king. As a sannyasi, I should not mate with any kind of materialistic person. But here is king who is ruling entire world, and he is the highest devotee than Durvasa. Durvasa is renounced. Therefore, question is this: it's not like who is renounced, outwardly fake renounced like me, and which householder. That's no matter. How much inside we have, inside how much we are free from material attachment. Like Ramdas, we have a lot of property around the world, right? On the other have so many property. Canada, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Hawaii, so many. But yes, no attachment, right? Am I right? No attachment. Right or wrong? Anyway, attachment, yes or no, that they know. But it seems like they have no attachment. So who has no attachment and thinking all the property, whatever in my responsibility Lord gave me, I have to protect. In such mood, if they are keeping, then consider like a no attachment. Completely free from all material attachment. So Ambarish Maharaj have that. When Ambarish was in trouble, he never ran. I don't like to go through on the entire story. He was just standing one place with folded palm and expecting whatever the will of Lord is going to happen. But as soon as Sudarshan Chakra runs towards Durvasa ran all over. And he went to Brahmolo, Brahma said, I cannot wait and go to see Kailash, Lord Shiva. Shiva says, no, better to go Chakra where coming from. Go there. Then Vishnu. When Vishnu said, hey, Chakra not with me. Chakra with Ambarish. How is it possible? This is your Chakra. Stop. No. I am sannyasi. I am renounced. So, a rich householder. He is king, materialistic person. So I am higher than him. Please stop. Then Vishnu said, okay, wait a minute. Try to make you understand. Then Vishnu explained, look, when my Sudarshan cut your demonic personification Vritta, that time when you create a demon from a jackal, and then you order to that demon to kill Ambarish kept back. Anything he did? You know, Ambarish can't do. But when my chakra just running towards you, what you do? Are you depending on me or you are running to save your life? So who is more dedicated? You or Ambarish? We are not thinking about which sannyasi, which householder, which king. We are thinking who is more dedicated. Who has more dedication, more surrender to me. I am for him only. So therefore I am telling you, there is a question of the sannyasi, question of the householder, question of how much attachment I have. An attachment we can cure through chanting. All are chanting. Sannyasi also chanting, householder chanting, everybody chanting. How much consciousness we are fixing towards the Lord's services. That is the call of Mukto. As soon as we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with fixing mind towards Krishna services, prem with Krishna, prem will appear. This is Lord Chaitanya says in the first 6 Astaka sloka. And same sloka, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explained with nice way, the Bengali poem form. He explained like this way. Naam Sankirtane Hai Sarvan Arthanash. All the anartha, unwanted mundane desire will pass away through chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sarvo Shubhodaya Krishna Primera Ullash. All the speciousness will appear and prem will appear through Naam Sankirtan. All the bad karmas, consequence will pass away. Do you like to do that? Okay. And then Sankirtan Haite Papa Sansara Nasan Chitta Suddhi Sarva Bhakti Sada Chitta Suddhi means all the attachment gone. Chitta Suddhi Sarva Bhakti, all type of devotional limbs will appear. If someone speaking, you are going to listen. Not aggressively say, oh, I know it. Never say. When Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Tatarjo, Sarvabhauma giving discourses on Vedanta, 7 days Mahaprabhu listened, closed his lips. When Sarvabhauma asking him, do you understand? Mahaprabhu said, no, I don't want. I'm not understanding anything. What you say? I understand only the Sanskrit text, but I don't understand your commentary. Hey, what are you talking about? Yes, it is true. 7 days you are listening, whatever comes. So, link of devotion like this. When they ask, senior ask, then I will answer. As a junior, you should know. In that way, that's such a devotion. Chitta Suddhi Sarva Bhakti Sadhana Udgam, then Krishna Premadgam. Devotion will bring Krishna Prem, which this quality will allow us to serve Lord's lotus feet. Otherwise not. So, Mukto ceremony who has Krishna Prem. This is Raya Ramananda and Lord Chaitanya's conversation. So Mukto ceremony, everybody wants to Mukta. Sometimes we are always thinking that, oh, Liberation we don't want. But what type of liberation we want? Saruppa means, you cannot go over there with this your form. If your form is sweating, right? Bad smell coming. You are using, what is that smell? Deodorant?
Perfume.
Perfume, deodorant, whatever. Artificially make your body attractive. But there is no ingredient to put any artificial chemicals. Just this body that plays, have no sweat, always beautiful, no old, no grey hair, always young, no lower back. Golok Vrindavan. Where? Golok Vrindavan. Always fixed age. If you are really Ananga Manjari's group, then 12 years. 12 years. Fixed age.
Oh, fixed age.
Yeah, fixed age. Fixed everything. Krishna's age fixed. 15 years, 2 months, 15 days. Radharani's age fixed. 15 years, 2 months, 15 days. Lolita's age fixed. 14 years, 3 months, 11 days. Rupamanjari's age fixed. 14 years, 8 months, 27 days. Everybody fixed. Like Maharaj is fixed. 12, right? So anyway, this is that. There's no need to think about old age. There is no need to feel tired. Always more and more enthusiasm. Blissful service. So that seva, if you want to perform, then you can get your fixed form. Looks like Radharani's group, right? Radharani's group. Rupamanjari, if you are Radharani's Rupamanjari Lolita's group, then pick-up feather. Sari, pick-up feather. And if you are Prabhupada group, Taravali. Taravali means blue and star. Blue sky and star. Prabhupada. Our Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. Actually, yeah. So like meditation is like this. Tapta kanchana shabdhabhyam Taravali parihitam Nayanamani manjari nibande Gana seva parayanam. Prabhupada's eternal form. Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. Tapta kanchana, as like Radharani's body's color same. Then Taravali, for Taravali means that's outfit like a Taravali. And Nayana host, the Nayana Manjari. Nayana Manjari. And then what seva is performing? Gana seva parayanam. Chanting Paradharani. Chanting, singing for Radharani's. Therefore, recently I wrote an article, short article. I think I sent it, right? No? Recently, just 2 weeks when I was in Costa Rica, I composed an article. To whom I sent, maybe Gopal, I sent to Maharaj. Anyway, I will send you today. Tonight I will send you. That I put my Gurudev was also eternal service, eternal home, everything how we wrote. That article. I think I gave them, no? No? Anyway, I did. Anyway, maybe I sent translator, this Rameshwari, Hindi translation. I can send it tonight and go there tonight. It will publish in Hindi magazine. Therefore, I have to send it. English magazine will publish in internet, right?
Singapore.
Well, Singapore. Therefore, I have to do. So anyway, I will send you today. So this is our parampara. So there is no need to sweat. Always full of enthusiasm, full of blush, blessed. So that you want, right? Everybody want. Therefore you have to chant. No quarrel, no criticism, no quarrel even with your wife. Wife devotee or not? Devotee?
Yes.
Quarrel? No quarrel. Who is able to establish extreme tolerance? No quarrel, no criticism, no gossiping. Like Bibudha Mata, no quarrel, no gossiping. Huh? I never saw it quarreling. I never saw in my life. Such tendency to establish. Everybody think, everybody happening, negative thing happening, you think, Tatte Nukampan, Shamek Shamana, what the meaning, he will explain. If I say, he may say, oh, you are from India, the Indian flow, he will explain. Meaning. Don't explain. Tatte Nukampan. Whatever going on surrounding, it may negative, positive, whatever. You have to know it is Krishna.